guys, welcome back to Edible Whole Foods. We're going to do a fish dish today, but we're going to do it with kind of an interesting sauce. Instead of having a tartar or a cocktail or anything like that, we're going to take an Italian fruit sauce that's savory. And I know that sounds a little weird, but it's really kind of cool, and there's a lot of textures going on, just a lot of things happening. Now, the first thing you need to do is we're going to dry roast some almonds. Now, these happen to be almonds that have had a little tamari put on them, but you could use smoked almonds, you could use regular almonds, you could use almond slivers. Why are we doing it this way, and why are we roasting them first before we do anything else? We're trying to push as much flavor out of these nuts as we can. Same thing kind of goes on with your spices. If you do roast your whole spices, it releases oils, it releases flavors, and it kind of gets things kind of moving along. So we're just going to let those kind of rock in there just a little bit. Doesn't take long. Now, okay, you say, Fred, you're talking about doing a kind of healthy dish, and you're throwing butter in. Well, we're not throwing much butter in, and this is going to serve 4 people, so it's not really going to be that much of a problem. And we're just going to kind of stir that around in there, get the nuts nicely coated. And we're going to take this butter to what is almost called a brown butter, which is even nuttier. So we're getting, not only are we getting that fat transfer out of this butter, but we're also getting some flavor out of it. This is something that folks don't do at home very much. All right, see how that tone's changing? See that tone's in there's changing? Get a little brown. You can take it a little further if you want to, or if you're there, you don't want to burn the butter. We just got to make certain that we have nice color to that butter. All right, then we're going to put our fruit in. In this case, I'm using some dried raisins. I'm just going to stir that in. And some apples that have been cored but not necessarily peeled. I like keeping the peel on because it kind of gives the whole dish some color. So, wasn't that fancy? All right, so we just let this cook for a while until we start to see the raisins plump up. Or if you were using dried cranberries or dried blueberries or whatever, you just want to see them barely starting to plump. And they're coming in there pretty quick. It does not take long. See how that raisin right there? That's a good example of how a raisin should look when it starts to plump a little bit. All right. So now that we're there, we're going to do some fun things too. We're going to put in the zest of a half an orange. Now you could do this with lemon. You could do this with lime. A lot of times I will do it with lime if I'm doing something like tilapia or mai in particular. So we're just going to knock that in there. I've got a combination of chopped rosemary, chopped thyme, and chopped parsley. So, and you can adjust those. You could use tarragon if you wanted to. You could leave out the rosemary if you hate rosemary. There have been times I've even used cilantro in this, depending on the flavor profile. I guess what I'm trying to get across to you is, make this recipe once, kind of like we're showing it today, but after that, make it your own. You'll understand what's going on. Now, all we need to do now is kind of cook it, and we're going to watch it until we see the zest crisp up just a little bit. And our apples are beginning to get a little soft. And that's it. I've talked to you about how you cook fish. Sear it, flip it, put it in an oven, 400-degree oven for about 5 to 7 minutes. You'll always have perfect fish. Pull it out, dump this sauce over it. You'll have a fabulous meal. It's different. It'll kind of shake your family up a little bit because they'll go, wow, that's kind of fancy for the middle of the week. But it's quick, it's simple, it's easy, it's great. Thanks for joining us on Edible Whole Foods. Come back next week and we'll have some more fun with food.